Howdy y'all, welcome back to another video. I'm currently an undergraduate at Texas A&M and I'm studying meteorology. And this past weekend, me and a couple of my friends decided we would travel up to Oklahoma to be chasing some tornadoes that were going on in the area. This was a fairly long trip for us, as we would end up driving over 800 miles from College Station to central Oklahoma and back. So on March 6th, a favorable setup for severe weather and possibly tornadoes was present over much of the central U.S., and this sparked the Storm Prediction Center to issue an enhanced risk over this area with a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes. I can go into the meteorology if y'all want me to. I'm going to assume y'all really don't want me to, but drop a comment down below if that's something y'all are interested in me getting more scientific with all of this. Just let me know. The decision was made the night before that we would make the trip up to the McAllister, Oklahoma area to chase the tornadoes, and that went...
On there. We're warned again! I really hope it stays that way.
Hopefully if the radar trend continued, it should just be very tight. It should not. Here's the... Nope.
Perfect timing, like I said. Did I not get that timing right?
Okay. Yep.
So the day got off to a little bit of a rough start, as my car decided that it wanted to break down the morning of the chase. I still don't really know what's wrong with it. It just decided it wouldn't start. We were at a car wash at the time, and it was a story. I wish I got it on video. We ended up getting a police escort as we pushed the car to a nearby auto shop. I wish I got it on video. That cop was such a great guy. He was so fun. He was telling us about the time that he ended up having to do something similar when he was back in college. I wish I got it on video. I wish I could show it to you. It was the funniest thing ever. So, anyways, we ended up leaving almost an hour late because of this. So we had to make the time on our way north, legally, of course. We ended up arriving to the area just after 5:30, leaving us with only about an hour before the sun would set and we'd lose daylight. However, this ended up working out fairly well for us, as the interesting convection started popping up in our area almost immediately after we arrived. The storm we were on was fairly long-tracked and had an evident rotating couplet. It honestly looked insane. The wall cloud was super pronounced, and you could see the mesocyclone rotating. It looked dope. It wasn't long before tornado warning was issued for the area, and it wasn't long after that we had seen our first funnel cloud. So I'm going to show y'all something real quick. And it's this right here. This is the radar reflectivity and the velocity of the storm that we were tracking, all right? So, at this point in time, we were running out of daylight, and that increased with the fact that, the tornado had yet to drop, that it was becoming increasingly more rain-wrapped, and the fact that there was actually a cell that was forming to our south. As you see, this cell over Shawnee right now is what we were chasing. And you see the cell start to form to its south right here. All right? We were worried about this because this had started to develop a hail core that was south of it. You can see the rotating couplet here in the storm. All right? And because of this, we decided to abandon ship. All right, we abandoned ship, we abandoned the storm, we decided to start driving more west to get out of the path of the southerly cell and its hail. But about 5 or 10 minutes after we ended up abandoning this storm, it ended up dropping a tornado near God, I can't find it now. It's near Beggs. There it is. It's near Beggs. This storm ended up dropping just about a little bit west of Beggs. And you can see it here. The storm at this point was becoming increasingly more rain-wrapped. You couldn't see it even if you had daylight. And this would be about the point in time when it lifted. But for this duration, this tornado was on the ground. And I'm going to read out a preliminary survey that the NWS did. All right, they're still surveying the damages. The initial reports of this tornado are really not good. All the images I'm about to show you are from the Oklahoman, and I'll include a link to that article in the description. So, from the NWS, March 6, 2026, time from 7:17 to 7:29 p.m. The tornado has been given an EF3 rating with estimated peak winds of 137 miles per hour. It was on the ground for 6.8 miles with a maximum width of 950 yards. The tornado injured 2, and the tornado killed 2. Summary. The tornado began on the west side of Beggs, directly impacting the Beggs Public School campus. The high school and middle school roof sustained significant damage, and the bus barn was also suffered heavy damage to the roof and overhead doors. As it moved northeast, it crossed 15th Street, uprooting and snapping trees. After crossing Happy Camp Road, it destroyed outbuildings and began a brief jog northward, paralleling North 180 Road. The strongest and widest phase of the tornado occurred as it moved east along Grimes Road. One single-wide manufactured home was completely destroyed, and several other single-family residences were heavily damaged with the loss of roofs and windows. The 2 fatalities and 2 injuries occurred at one homestead where a double-wide manufactured home was completely destroyed, and several automobiles were moved and tossed 20 to 30 yards. A nearby barn was destroyed, and heavy limb loss occurred on large trees. The tornado then continued northeast, crossing State Highway 75, where it threw a metal shipping container across the lanes and uprooted trees. The tornado dissipated after crossing North 205 Road about 3 miles south of the Tulsa County line. We ended up getting what we believe is a photo of this tornado, and I'll throw it on screen now. We had to turn the contrast way up because at this point it was fairly dark out. But I believe you can see this tornado in its early stages forming here as it was heading into Beggs. I'm sorry to leave this on such a somber note. It really was a great experience for all of us. I wish that the tornado we had seen had just stayed over open grass or over open fields. That would have been so much better. My heart goes out to anyone that was affected by these storms. But yeah, I'm sorry to leave it on such a somber note, y'all. If you guys want to see anything from me in the future, any specific tornadoes or any specific weather events that you guys want to see me cover, or maybe even break down meteorology. If you want to see any storms or tornadoes or any weather events that you want to see me break down meteorologically. I can't say that word. What is going on? Meteorologically. We did it. But if you want to see me do any of that, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like on the video. It really helps me out a lot. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.